to the iKnowBadeaux podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux podcast, coming at you from the Play and Trade Studios. My name's Mayor Dave Badeaux, the city brainer. With me, as always, is my brother.
I didn't ask to be born.
Man. Gabriel Johnson, I see ye.
Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm pretty excited for today's episode.
1985. Oh, look at this. Jesse from Play and Trade.
Back in the cold state of Minnesota from the sunny state of Florida.
You were in Florida. You are back. Did you have a good time?
I did.
You said you enjoyed the roller coasters?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love roller coasters.
You went to Universal.
The new
one.
Yep.
And you said it wasn't as sweet as it should be.
It was, SeaWorld was my favorite.
Crazy. I can't believe that SeaWorld is still a thing. I thought they stopped doing SeaWorld when they said, hey, killer whales, bad idea.
So they are going to let
Well, they can't let him go anymore.
Once they die, they're not going to get more though.
Oh, so they're still doing it. I was under the impression that we were no longer killer whaling after they ate
no,
another.
they still do the whole show and everything. It was the
They
best
just
part.
ate another one.
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, folks. Speaking of eating people as whales, this is the Be Kind Rewind. 1985. You know, I've never looked back to see when SeaWorld started. It had to have been 70s because we did Jaws 3. Yeah, and that was they were pretty new, I think. When
That's why I
Jaws 3
sent
came
that.
out. Yeah.
Like, I just feel like doing a bunch of cocaine and crashing boats.
Well, folks, this is the Be Kind Rewind, the episodes of the podcast in which we take a year and go back and look at all of the stuff. This year is 1985. For those of you listening, we got a bunch of stuff on the desk. For those of you watching, you can probably hardly see us again because we've got just a stack of shit.
That's a big box.
That's a big, whoa. Look out, Bertha. But 1985 was a great year, and we're pretty excited. We've got the movies coming up in the next episode, and then we're going to do a third episode, part due, just on Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So that should be a ton of fun. But let's talk about the music, TV, pop culture that made up the year that was 1985. And it starts with the soundtrack of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, you had said that you were a fan of some of the music in 1985.
No.
Oh, no.
What I had said was MTV had made musicians a little too popular. So they all decided to start telling us what we should believe.
Yes.
And they haven't stopped for 40 years. But 1985 was the year of Live Aid,
Yep.
raising money for Africa.
Yep.
U2, Madonna, David Bowie, Phil Collins, Elton John. And can't forget Freddie Mercury's performance.
Oh, yes.
Queen was there as well.
I thought that said queer.
Yeah, well, Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
And then also Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie released We Are the World.
We Are the World. So I was confusing the two. Live Aid is the concert.
Yep.
We Are the World is when they all got together, put one hand on their left ear,
Yeah.
and then all sang the same thing.
Yep.
Is that the Waylon Jennings one?
Is that the one where it's just like, even like Dan Aykroyd, and there's just all these weird people in there. And like,
Was that the one where he just goes, ain't no good old boy ever sang Swahili and gets up and leaves? I think it is. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope so.
That was.
I did see a video, I think, from a recording of that where Michael Jackson is with two other prominent musicians. I can't remember who they are. I think one might be Phil Collins.
Could be.
And Michael Jackson is watching these two try to sing, and he's just, the look on his face is just like, oh, you're so out of tune.
Cyndi Lauper, probably.
I think so.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that's
That
it.
was
I think it is,
because
yeah.
they're all singing just
And
wildly different pitches and styles. And
to Michael Jackson's credit, the king of pop, they sounded like shit.
He knew what he was doing.
And you are correct. The pretentious bullshit has never ended since then. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Still getting preached at by celebrities and musicians.
But I was talking to my wife about it, and she flipped the script and said, do they do that because they're pretentious, or do they do that because we all demand that they do that to us?
We give them money.
Yes.
We give them lots of money.
Yes.
But then we also, ask them, well, how do you feel about this? What do you think about
Where's
this?
Ja? What does Ja Rule have to say about this?
That is a great point. It should be just rappers from the early 2000s. Nelly, Ja, Pitbull. Give me those guys in a group and all going, we are the world.
DMX.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's thinking you are more important than you are. Right? You're important. Don't get me wrong. You're important. I love what you do. You make good tunes. Congratulations. But then also, I think there is a little bit of that as well. Is like, but I want to know I want to know that this person thinks things, big things.
Yeah.
Do they care?
Yeah. Do they even care?
Well, like I remember growing up, like 5th, 6th grade, Britney Spears was starting to get pretty big and starting to take her clothes off a little bit, show a little bit more. And
people are like,
and the parents were like upset with her.
yeah.
And you need to be a better role model for my daughter.
Yes, but what do you think, Brittany, while your boobs come out?
I demand you act a certain way.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
We demand you act a certain way, and then you have to do that back at me.
Yes.
Tell me that I need to be doing that.
Yeah.
You need to tell my kid how they should be dressing.
Right.
Now, to be fair, to counteract this, a little song came out in 1985 as well. Little Dire Straits, Money for Nothing.
Oh, that was free.
Which is basically talking about the whole ordeal, which is fantastic. Still to this day, my favorite opening to any song. There's that one, and then there's the one from the Rolling Stones that they played in The Departed. I forget what it's called. I forget which one it is. Anyways, those are the two, hands down, best intros to any song where you're just like, we're going. We are going. And then the song continues, and it's good. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
After a while, though, it's like, all right.
You already said that.
Yeah, you said that a couple times.
Well, the MTV part was Sting.
What?
I want my MTV on that Dire Straits song.
Yeah.
That was Sting.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, the music is okay. 1985, heavy on the synth, but
lots of Huey Lewis.
lots of Huey Lewis, lot of.
I'm becoming a big Huey Lewis fan. I had never really listened to him.
They're a good band.
I'd never listened to him before, like a year or two ago.
Well, you think of him you kind of think of him like Kenny Loggins, right? It's just the music in the movies that I watch.
Sure.
It's like you forget he's a musician.
Yeah.
Solid. The guitar player's killer in that band. I mean, it's a good band.
I bet they put on a hell of a show because that was also the time frame in which like Prince and like these guys are doing these stage performances that are
those outdoor. They're huge.
Well, but also just you go down to like First Ave and you're getting to see Prince go up on stage, and do some crazy shit, right? Like it was just an era of a lot more live music that you could probably see more prevalent, and so these guys had to do a little bit extra. Now I think you can get away with just about anything.
Yeah.
They've done all the extras.
They've done all the extras. Well, anything else for music? I think go back and check it out. There are some good songs that came out, and I think we're in the 80s for sure, music wise.
Was that Take On Me?
Yes.
Did Take On Me come out in 85?
Yes.
Oh, that's when they
And the music video?
Music and videos were creative and good.
Yeah.
And good.
I don't know what happened.
I haven't seen a new music video for a new song since probably Tip Drill.
Don't start this. We're not going down that road.
I saw that at a city council
We're
meeting.
I never did release that. I never did clip that and release it. It's on the video, or it's on the episode.
Yeah,
I never did make a short
that was
of
the
that.
best.
And I don't think I will.
That was the best end credit outro
Slams
thing
it shut,
ever.
looks to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
What was that?
Nelly.
Did you do that?
The beauty of being the editor is that I don't have to do it if I don't want to. It's Nelly. Sorry. Okay, so speaking of music, right? Let's shift directly into television. Would you guys mind if I take a shift here? A little show called MacGyver.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed in the theme song.
Yeah.
It didn't get me going as much as I thought it would.
That's a banger.
I don't think it is. I think it's
yeah.
okay. Okay, first of all, I'm going to stop everybody real quick. I hate when I do this, but I'm going to do it. I hate when we put something on and we're like, we're going to talk about MacGyver. And then only people that want to talk about MacGyver are people that want to talk about
MacGyver.
like MacGyver. And then I'm like, you know what sucks? MacGyver.
Yeah, first thing, MacGyver theme song sucks.
And I don't think it sucks. We're coming out of bangers, right?
It's no
It's no Miami Vice.
Miami Vice or
You're thinking Tom Selleck.
I'm thinking Tom
PI.
Selleck.
Oh,
It's no
Magnum?
Magnum PI.
No, and I think that's
You
what
could
I
have
was-
put the Magnum PI theme song onto this show. I think
Yes.
something just like it. Recreate the
Yes.
Magnum PI theme song.
Yes.
It'd be great.
Yeah, my take on MacGyver before we go any further into it is that MacGyver feels less after having watched Miami Vice and watching
Sure.
whatever the fuck you just said it was. What the hell? My brain
Magnum
PI. There it is. Yeah. But the pilot episode, I really enjoyed. Did you get into the pilot episode at all?
A little bit.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. Jesse, did you watch any Magnum PI? Or did you watch any Magnum PI? But then did you watch any MacGyver?
I actually, as a child, watched every season.
Oh, so you're a
Okay.
MacGyver fan.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm stepping on your toes
I
here.
was
a
going to
little
say,
bit.
the theme, when I was a kid, that came on. Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the whole build up and then the. Oh.
Yeah.
But even in like the intro with the theme song, they show him going to jump into a boat. and
That
he
was
totally
terrible. It
misses.
was a bad. It's like a foot. He just
Yeah.
misses the boat.
MacGyver reminds me that I'm watching television in 1980.
There's a lot of terrible stunts.
There's a lot of stuff in MacGyver that reminded me that I was watching a television show from 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pilot I thought was really good. I liked it. First of all, he starts off by he's got to climb a rock face because why not?
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
he's in Southeast Asia. He's in no way, shape, or form in Utah. It's impossible for him to be in Utah. He's in Southeast Asia. Maybe it was Northeast Asia. I don't remember. I remember thinking, is that what it looks like?
I was thinking Afghanistan, but I don't know.
He's in Mongolia, essentially.
Okay.
He's got to climb up there. He gets to the top. There evidently is a plane that has crashed on the top of a plateau.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right. Fair enough. He gets up there, and I remember thinking, like, oh, this is kind of cool. He's got his little gear on. He's dressed up. He looks like one of them.
Yeah.
And they show him kind of turn his back, and the guys can't see him. And then the camera pans out.
Right, because he puts on a hat.
Right. Like, do none of these guys recognize that that's not their friend?
It's even worse. He's got the jacket and the pants on, but the pants are too short, and his sweatpants are hanging out the bottom. And I don't mean like the cuffs. His entire calf is his sweatpant.
Yeah, he stole that from a small Asian person.
And I remember thinking, okay, all right, it's 1985. We're watching TV, but pretty cool. You know what I really enjoyed about it? The satchel.
Oh, you got to. Every adventure guy has to have a satchel.
But I love that he specifically says, they go, what's that for? You bring all your stuff with you? And he specifically says, it's not for the stuff I bring with. It's for the stuff I find along the way.
And every episode, he's like, fine, a pair of women's shoes. I might need that later.
Yeah, I might need to make these into a bomb later.
I only need the left shoe.
Yes.
I loved it. I thought it was a great way of going, all right, we're watching TV, but at the same time, like, yeah, this is a guy that finds things and then uses them.
Yeah.
Pretty ingenious. I loved that they just right away explained that.
Yeah.
And so you're not halfway through going,
Why did he take that bow tie?
he keeps doing it too. It's like, oh, he stops to eat candy bars. Oh, gotta freshen up. I've been going down these stairs for 20 minutes.
Must eat a vending machine full of Hershey's bars. I really enjoyed it. I made it probably halfway through the first season.
Okay.
I think my favorite part about MacGyver is it begins every episode where he's like halfway through a mission.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 5 to 10
Yes.
minutes of him just closing out a mission, and then it gets into the episode. That
Yes.
is the full episode. But I just love how that gets you in. You're in the action right away.
It's a really cool way of doing things, and it's exactly how Temple of Doom starts as well, right? Temple of Doom starts with you in the third act of a adventure that Indiana Jones is on, and it's the same thing here. You know, how does he end the last adventure that you didn't even get to see? It builds the world and makes it feel much grander. I also really like that he's the guy. He's the guy that they go to. You know, he seems.
Well, yeah, that
unassuming.
big corporation. They're like, oh, we got something real special. We got to get MacGyver in there.
MacGyver, we need you. And then MacGyver goes.
And he's really smart. He's like the anti-James Bond. He's really smart. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't kill anybody
Or use weapons.
or really have sex at all.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't use weapons.
He does have a son, though, later on. You'll see that.
Yeah, he does like children.
Okay, well, I did like it. I will say that the pilot episode held my attention. Subsequent episodes, I found myself wandering as they went. There's some fluff in the middle of each episode where it's like, okay, we're collecting things. All right, I get it. You know, let's collect a little quicker. You know, like I want you to like just smash and grab.
Yeah.
Like we go into the gun shop, I take all the stuff I need, and then later on we figure out how I got to use it. There's a lot more of like him just walking around like picking things up. I might need that.
Oh, I use Band-Aid.
But he gets in.
That's a great bit. It's just MacGyver grabbing just the weirdest shit. Like used Band-Aid. Fucking hilarious.
What was that, a Family Guy thing?
Maybe, probably.
I love
They
that.
made fun of him.
I love that immediately right away in the pilot episode, he just starts doing MacGyver right away. Like they don't even pretend that that's not what this show is.
Yeah.
Because the first of all, he stops a bomb with a paperclip. Right? It's like, oh God, what are we gonna do? And then just happens to have a paperclip. Stops a bomb with the paperclip. Then he takes a rubber band and a matchbook and makes a freaking timer for the gun to go off.
Yeah.
That one I really liked. And then he grabs a freaking thing and then the guy goes, what are you doing? And he makes a rocket thruster.
One where he uses
That
a
was
flare
so
gun.
stupid.
Does he use a flare gun and then he
Yes.
smashes?
Does he just hit it with his hand?
I think so.
He just like punches it or like hammer fists it.
Bashes the barrel. Like,
And then just sticks it behind him like it's gonna rocket boost him off the.
and it did
does
nothing. It did nothing.
Not a damn thing.
But to be fair, we have set the tone.
Yeah.
My expectations are exactly where they should be. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I did think as the episodes went, episode 2, I could not have been less interested. Where it found me again was the episode in which they have to steal a horse. Did you see that one? So MacGyver starts off by telling a tale about how he's got to steal a horse, essentially. And then smash cut later on, he's dressed up as a shepherd with a giant shepherd hook. Because if you didn't know he was a shepherd, you might just think he's just a guy.
Right. Right.
But now he's
He's got the thing.
He's got the thing. It's right there. I was concerned that he was just a Middle Eastern guy.
Yeah.
No, that's a shepherd hook.
oh my gosh.
He gets on this horse.
Yes.
And immediately I'm like, what's that thing hanging down behind the horse? It's like, it's kind of running and there's kind of like a little, I don't even know what to call it. Almost like a little seat. It's like, what is going on here with this little seat that he's got going here? He tussles a little bit in the sand. Again, they're in the Middle East. They are nowhere near Southern California.
Nope. It's
They're
totally.
nowhere. They are in the Middle East. And he starts
Live on location.
starts running down the beach and the guys are chasing him.
Yeah. On the horse.
He's on the horse. I'm sorry.
On the horse. So he's got about 30 yards on the like 15 other guys on horses chasing him.
Yep. And then
Helicopter shows up.
helicopter shows up. And what do we see with the helicopter? A hook.
Well, perfect.
What do you do with a hook on a helicopter with a horse?
We're stealing a horse. We're on a beach. There's nowhere to go, folks. And lo and behold, MacGyver gets that hook full gallop.
Oh yeah.
He gets this hook and hooks up the horse, and they legit hoist the horse into the air with a helicopter.
The shepherd staff.
He doesn't. That's what I thought. I thought he was going to use the shepherd staff to like pull it down or something. Maybe he was trying. Maybe we had to cut that. Maybe that part didn't work out quite.
Maybe
so
the
well.
horse fell once.
They legit take a horse, hook it up
to a helicopter.
to a helicopter, and pick it up off the ground.
And pull it 200 feet into the air?
At least.
And
Over
that
the-
horse does not like it one bit. his back feet are like kicking. Like,
Turns out, when you pick a galloping horse up by a helicopter,
and it is not expecting it.
it doesn't think this is what I should be doing right now. It was flailing its little feet, and it turns out that little thing behind him was a seat. It's a little seat for the horse's back legs, and so eventually the horse calms down. But that horse is freaked the fuck out, and it's kind
As
of,
you should be. Imagine you're just
yes.
running down the beach, and then all of a sudden, oh!
You've taught this horse. All right, we're gonna tussle in the sand and be careful. Don't break your legs. We don't have to shoot you and make you glue. And then all of a sudden, you just are up in the air. Because let's be fair. How many times does a horse get hoisted?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you could train it. It'd be an
No.
expensive. It'd be an expensive thing.
It'd be-
There's a lot of fuel.
I can't believe this happens because I'm watching this and I'm like, are they going to pick this horse up? And then I'm thinking, this is 1985 TV. How are we going to pick this horse? Oh, we're just going to.
Oh,
pick
you were
the
just
horse.
doing it. We're just doing it. It happens real fast,
Yes.
too. Hooks there, hooks in, horses up.
Yep. Sold. MacGyver got me good.
Yeah.
So let's flip it all back around. I was prepared to talk shit about MacGyver. I honestly was. I loved the pilot. I started to really lose interest. And then we picked a horse up with a helicopter, and I'm like, I'm in, folks. Let's go.
I'm with you, pal. I hate heights.
Like I said, it ran for a long time.
It
I
ran
think
for
it
a
was
long
7,
time.
8 seasons. It ran into the
Yep.
early 90s.
Yep.
Still with the helicopters. Helicopters showing up and everything.
Well,
Explosions, helicopters,
You
and
mentioned
paperclips.
they weren't in Southern California. By the end of the first season, they had done all of the environments of Los Angeles. They had done the deserts and the cliffs and the ocean. It's like, what are we doing? The rest of the filming took place in Vancouver because they were only like an hour from rainforests and a bunch
you
of different
go.
environments they could get them in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They had a small toy line.
Oh, did they?
Do you know what it was?
No.
The only two I can really remember, because they only made like 2 or 3 of them.
It was a paperclip and a piece of
Literally.
gum.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It
I
was
would buy
a
that.
nice back MacGyver, and then it was a paperclip.
Oh, God. I
And
would
then
buy
I
that.
think one was a piece of gum, and I think one was
But you just nailed it?
Nailed it.
matchbook.
Well, that's
Or something like
well,
that.
that's the pilot. But that's
Yeah.
somebody watched the pilot and goes, I got it. Got it figured out, folks. That's what MacGyver does, right?
I want that knife back, you know.
I got this box set from Amazon and it is just destroyed. This is season 1 and it's just destroyed. I mean, the discs are fine, but the box is completely wrecked. I've got a lot of MacGyver to go. And again, the theme song, I can tell if you were a person
If you
consuming
want-
that,
yeah.
if you were a person consuming that would be a very, because it's melodic, right?
Yeah.
Well, you
Gets
know what it
through.
is.
You know what it is.
MacGyver's on.
MacGyver's on. MacGyver's on.
Yeah. It's no Murder, She Wrote.
All right, from MacGyver, let's shift gears.
To the biggest television special ever known to man.
Oh.
WrestleMania I.
Oh, boy.
Afternoon, March 31st, it's WrestleMania. Get your tickets to the greatest sports entertainment closed-circuit TV spectacular of all time.
So the first WrestleMania ever was in 1985. Wrestling was still regional territory based.
Yes, it was.
And Vince McMahon was trying to consolidate power and take over, make it a national thing. So he decided, let's do WrestleMania. And a big part of WrestleMania is you got to bring the celebrities in, right?
Yep.
So this is 1985.
Oh.
He brings in Muhammad Ali,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. T,
Of course.
Liberace was the timekeeper,
Okay.
Billy Martin announcing, and the aforementioned Cyndi Lauper. But we didn't have pay-per-view yet. Like when we were growing up,
Oh, yeah.
had pay-per-view. That didn't exist.
So what do they do?
They did closed-circuit television to theaters and arenas across the television.
Really?
Yeah,
So when did pay-per-view become a big
probably
thing?
shortly after WrestleMania 1.
They realized we could do this better.
Because they reached just over 1 million people on CCTV
That's
to
huge.
various arenas and theaters
That's wild.
from Madison Square Gardens.
That's
Crazy.
wild. So would it come down? So it'd have to work just like a cable, right?
Yeah, you'd have to be wired in.
Yeah, yeah. So it'd have to come off the satellite and then go through the wire to get to the thing. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they just got the cast from Rocky 3. And,
Yeah.
and we're like,
Well, you know
let's-
who was in the main event?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Hogan, Mr. T. I'm surprised that Sly didn't show
they
up.
were partners in that one, weren't they?
I'm surprised that Sly didn't show up.
That was the main event. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T defeated Roddy Piper, or Rowdy Piper,
Yeah.
and Mr. Wonderful in a tag team match.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy to also think of. I would not have remembered that Piper would have been the main act in WrestleMania 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because 3 is that when Andre the Giant, is that when that happens?
Hulk and Andre,
Yeah.
probably.
I think that was the third
Yeah.
WrestleMania
Yeah.
where he body slams him.
Yeah.
In this one, Andre the Giant was in one, kind of in the middle card somewhere. He had to body slam a guy for a $15,000 challenge, and surprise, he did it.
Oh, feats of strength. I love that they're like, well, okay, folks, we got the wrestling going, but now we're going to stop and do feats of strength.
Look at this big son of a bitch. You think he can't do it?
Yeah. WrestleMania becomes huge. And that's actually, we talked about it. This is right when that's starting to happen, right when wrestling is starting to take off and WWE, WWF is starting to buy up all these regional things. Well, you had just said, because you started watching the Hulk Hogan thing on Netflix.
It's great.
I almost pushed play last night. I literally almost, actually, I take it back. I pushed play. It starts off with his funeral and I paused it. And then I was like, I'm going to watch something else after I came back to it.
That's good.
But you had said you were.
Yeah, you saw the end.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he dies? Oh, shoot.
Spoiler. No point watching this.
Ruined it from me. And that's like, oh, I could just skip an entire season of this show. But you had said you were surprised at how connected Minnesota was to wrestling at that point, because Minnesota was one of the biggest regions.
They really did make this region huge.
They did. And it was interesting because Chicago is where most of the guys came from, but the guys would come from Chicago to Minneapolis because the wrestling.
To train under Vern Gagne.
Yeah, because the wrestling was so big here, which is crazy. Yeah. So it's one of the cool things we got going for us.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Go in the gym and start wrestling.
Yeah. I like it though.
It's come a long way, and it's still the biggest wrestling event of the year every year.
What happened to this year?
I can't tell you because I don't subscribe to ESPN Plus, so f you and all of your streaming stuff, man.
Oh, no, it's a plus.
It's like $30 a month.
No way.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Like last year it was on Peacock, so I was able to watch it. I have no idea.
That's ridiculous.
That's weird. We just keep looping around different things. Like just going from one to the next. I guess you go to where the money is, but you'd think you'd want to standardize that at some point. All these sports things need to just start standardizing back to where people can watch it. I haven't watched any of the Wild hockey playoffs or any of the T-Wolves playoffs because I don't have live
You know how
TV
much
anymore.
football I miss?
I got rid of it.
I'm going to pay for.
Yeah. I got rid of it after the football season, and I don't know if I'll pick it back up.
I watched them both. I have a direct TV. But the fucked up thing about basketball is it's been on Prime. So when you're like looking on direct TV and go to see, what sports are on
then
tonight,
you gotta go.
it doesn't even tell you that there's a basketball game over on Prime.
Oh, it's not. And I have Prime, so I could have watched it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's shift gears.
Introducing the great new taste of Coca-Cola. The best tasting Coke in the history of ever. It's a hit. It's a Coke. Coke is it.
So Pepsi was doing this Pepsi challenge thing.
Yes.
And they were giving people blind taste tests. And what do you like better? And some people liked the sweet taste of Pepsi more than Coke.
Yes.
Sometimes a majority of people were choosing that sweet, thick Pepsi flavor.
Turns out when you're blind, you look sweet.
You like the sugar.
Yeah.
So Coke thought it would be a good idea to reformulate Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
The 99-year-old recipe that had been dominant in the market the whole time. We're just going to make a new one. Not add it to the lineup.
Right. Not
just
make a new one.
totally
We're going
get
to
rid of the old one.
replace.
We're going to replace this one that everybody loves. So they wanted to make it smoother, rounder, bolder, and sweeter.
So you just add a little sugar and got rid of some carbonation?
Right. And then they did blind taste tests. They did the Pepsi challenge. And this new recipe was beating Pepsi, which was still beating Coke.
Yes.
Like, we got it. Let's go live with it. April 23rd, 1985. Out with the old, new Coke is on the shelves.
And you got the new right on the can.
Mm-hmm. It's new.
And it isn't Coca-Cola, it's Coke.
Mhm.
New Coke.
79 days.
79 days.
And you say 79 days. This is the entire product line of Coca-Cola.
Right.
This is not, hey, let's phase this out. 79 days, you have all your stock of Coca-Cola is new Coke.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So by July 11th, 1985, they had Coca-Cola Classic
Can't beat the real thing.
on the shelf.
Can't beat the real thing.
Oh, never that.
And I didn't know, but they kept New Coke around.
Oh,
They rebranded it to Coke 2, and it was actually around until 2002.
what? I never saw it.
I don't remember
I
that.
don't think I ever.
No.
Canada.
Never saw it. Yeah, that sounds very Canadian or Southeast Asia, which is also Utah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And again, why wouldn't you just keep it as New Coke? I get that New Coke was it is often said to be the biggest failure in business history, right?
It is, but in hindsight, the return of the Coca-Cola Classic and the free press, the late night talk shows, the news, the headlines, the
True.
magazines, the newspapers, they got a 3X return on the whole blunder with the brand of Coca-Cola.
Sure. Now Coca-Cola is now the brand again. The thing that I thought was interesting was that they not only were like seeing the Pepsi's doing the Pepsi challenge and doing all their advertising, because advertising is very, very crucial in life. And we'll see that once one of the next things we come to. But they're doing the Pepsi challenge and people are doing the Pepsi challenge and they're all saying we like this sweeter one better. And then you go, oh shit, people like this sweeter one better. But they internally started doing their own blind taste tests. And turns out people like the sweeter one better. So that's why they ended up doing it, was in their own internal data was, oh, we actually have the inferior product.
But they had like a 22% market share. 22% of all cans of pop sold were Coca-Cola.
And the reason why
it's not 51, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
and most of what they had lost was because of Diet Coke. So Coke was losing to Diet Coke.
Sure.
You own Diet Coke. It's okay, folks. We've diversified our portfolio. We're gonna be fine. Wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like the thing about those taste tests is you're just getting a sip.
Yeah.
You're getting one sip
Yeah.
and you're like, ooh, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
Drink a whole can.
True.
Drink a whole can. That's the experience. It's not the first little taste.
Yep. Drink 12 ounces of Pepsi and tell me you don't feel like you have syrup in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But at the same time, I will say that having grown up drinking Pepsi, because that's what our grandfather had, drinking a lot of RC Cola, which is very similar to Pepsi.
Yeah.
Coke has a lot of bite to it.
Oh, Coke is spiny.
Yeah, it's got a lot of bite to it. And I can see where if you don't know what it is, you're like, oh, whoa, whoa. But that's what people like. When they crack open the ice cold Coke, they like that little spininess to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You could feel it up in your nasal passage. You're like, whoa.
Burns going down your throat.
The
I
first
like that burn.
the first drink of a Coca-Cola off the fountain
Yeah.
from McDonald's
Yes.
is the greatest thing on earth.
It's the best fountain drink.
Pop-wise, soda-wise,
Yeah.
it is the best.
It's crazy though. 79 days.
Yeah.
We're not talking 3 months, right? We didn't make it 3 months.
Nope.
And it's summer. And they're like, pull the plug immediately. And not
People
only
are
that,
having picnics. Let's
Yeah.
get the Coca-Cola.
well, but not only that, you got to remember, this is literally, they replaced the entire line. This is now the new. This is what we're doing.
Right.
And the idea that you thought you had to rebrand it, to me, is the part that I never understood. Just change the recipe, sneak it in, right? And see if you get some complaints. Try it in a region, right? Test it in a region and see what happens. Get your ear to the ground.
It sounds like they did test it in a region, but they advertised it, and they tested it in New York and D.C.
Sure.
So all of these people who don't drink Coke. We're like, oh, I'll go try this new thing out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. You know where you
It's like, oh, it's working.
Yeah.
That's right. But all of the people in Atlanta
Yes.
who only drink, they don't even drink water. They only drink Coca-Cola.
they call soda Coke in the South. I would start with the South and see if these people have an uproar or not. These people are addicted to your product. Let's see how they like it when you change the Coke.
Yep.
Yeah, people in Georgia love cooking with Coke.
It is interesting. Yeah.
I've put it in my chili before.
I put it in a roast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Coke and Dr. Pepper are both good with big chunks of roast.
Yep.
I like it though. It's a blunder, but again, marketing it's tricky and it is effective. Pepsi came in with Michael Jackson and they stole some market share.
Yeah.
Pepsi came in with the Pepsi Challenge and they stole some market share. They went hard even through the 2000s with the Pepsi generation, all that stuff, which is very true. I don't have a connection to Coke the way that a lot of people do. It's soda to me, right? I like it, but I'll drink Pepsi. All right, that's fine. I'll drink Coke. That's fine. I never had the barbs in me the way that a lot of people do. But the people that do kind of like your product. And you should probably just leave it alone.
Yeah, nearly 1/4 of people who drink pop.
Yeah.
Enjoy your product.
It's Coca-Cola with a new taste, a new sensation, a new explosion of wonderfulness in your mouth. Go ahead, try it.
It's just how you feel when you know it's for real.
We've got the taste.
It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke. Coke is it.
It's crazy. Well, speaking of marketing, let's go directly into the next piece of marketing, which I find fascinating. So this is 1985. We are about a decade into VHS. We have almost completely shook out the VHS versus Betamax. The wars are almost complete. The lawsuits are settling. One of those companies that has sued almost everyone under the sun over VHS and Beta is a little company called Disney. And the year 1985 is the year that Disney finally opens up their hearts to open up the vault to let
For a limited time only.
to let you purchase VHS versions of their most popular movies and guilt trip the ever living shit out of you in order to do it.
Better hurry up before it goes back into the vault for a decade.
Not only that, but not just you, for your children.
Oh, yeah.
The marketing of the Disney Vault is one of the craziest things that you can consume now looking back, because it is just parents. How dare you not let your children see these movies?
It's brilliant.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the story of how we got there, though.
So it goes all the way back to the 40s, really.
Yeah, 1944 or 45?
44,
Yep.
where Disney wanted every generation of kids to see their movie in the theater.
Because it's the only way you can make money off of a movie, and the only way you can see
in
a
the
movie.
theater. So in 1944, they re-released Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So
Yes.
10 years after it came out, or 8 years, or whatever it was. So the next generation of kids could enjoy it in the movie theater.
Yeah, so technically the Disney Vault is a term that was used even back then. The films would go back into the vault. And I think they called them the Untouchables, if I remember correctly. And I don't know if that goes all the way back to them, but there were certain films that they were never going to re-release on anything other than just it's going to come back out into the theaters. Every 5 to 10 years, we re-release this film and it comes back out. They got into some VHS stuff with, I think there was Disney Home Video, I think they called it.
Yep. I think that was the first iteration of that.
Yep. And that was like the movies that were like Pete's Dragon.
Okay.
Of that ilk. You know, the
Gnome-mobile.
Probably. Most likely, yes. Which, by the way, love the Gnome-mobile. Go watch the Gnome-mobile, folks. Go watch it.
The C tier and below Disney product.
Oh, if you're talking Gnome-mobile as C tier, you ain't jaunted along in a Gnome-mobile. You ain't done it. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't the high-end stuff. They sue, they lose. They were trying to say that this product should be illegal. You can just copy our stuff. They lose.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, no, we should probably make some money off it. They released the C tier, as Gabe says. Then the Disney classics come out, and they start releasing a little bit more. But you still can't get your hands on the films that they're trying to re-release in the theaters.
The Cinderellas and Pinocchios and whatnot.
Yeah. Because they're still making buku bucks, millions and millions of dollars every time they re-release it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember what was the first official one that was technically called like the Disney
I
Vault?
thought it was Pinocchio.
It is Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And I believe it. Well, I think they do Robin Hood. I think they re-released Robin Hood.
You're right.
And Robin Hood comes out.
That was the very first one.
but it's not technically considered the Vault. No. Pinocchio's the first one, and that is 1985 when we going in the Vault, folks.
Yeah.
There were only two that never went in the vault. Do you know that?
What were they?
Dumbo and Alice in Wonderland.
Never went into the Vault?
I've got on a list here. I have Dumbo and Alice Wonderland, both being Vault.
I'm pretty sure those are Vault items. There,
I
Jesse.
don't think they did because
I think they are because I own them both. My daughter was born in 2002, so it wasn't VHS; it was DVD territory. But I totally bought into the Vault.
Yes.
I own every single one of their Vault features on DVD because I let my daughter see this.
They
Yeah,
did
you'd
that.
be a terrible
up
parent if you didn't.
Yeah.
They did that up until Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had like exclusive Blu-ray editions that.
Yeah, which was 2019.
Yep.
Yeah, it's genius. All of the marketing, I'm not kidding you. Go back and watch these commercials. All of the marketing is a parent being told, how dare you not allow your child to have the experience of this film? How dare you not get this now because it's going away?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You think your daughter isn't going to want to watch Bambi? You're going to deprive your child of Bambi?
And last chance, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Last chance. I think it's crazy. The Disney classics, which I got here that says December 3rd, 1984, and I have Robin Hood underneath that. I think that's in that time frame there. My notes might just be wrong. But the price point of it, before the Vault, $79.95.
Yeah.
That's like $230.
$230. So with the classics, they weren't thinking people were going to purchase these. They were going, okay, we'll let you rent this.
They were for, yeah.
We'll let this guy over here can buy it, then you can borrow it.
They did not want you to own it.
No. And so that's the thing with the Vault. The Vault was 1985. That's when they decided, okay, for this holiday season, we're going to try it out. $29.95. So it's still just outrageous.
$100.
Yeah, still outrageously priced. But that's when they're like, okay, let's let the consumer purchase this on their own. And it's crazy to me because it is the exact same year and same time frame that Blockbuster starts. And we are 100% invested now in the VHS culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have the last holdout and the now biggest person that's going to be coming the rental side of things, 1985 is when I would say we have hit mass or the masses with VHS. And Betamax was still a thing then because the first Blockbuster store had 10,000 videos, 2,000 of which were Betamax.
Yeah.
So it was still a thing. They were still fighting it out in 1985, but clearly we've got to win.
Yeah, we wanted the inferior product.
Yes. Well, no. People wanted to be able to watch
Porn.
The adult industry will always lead the way, folks. Hey, speaking of which, it turns out that when you open the vault and you let people in, people start rummaging around a little bit and they find some things that you probably had locked up for a little bit.
Maybe you forgot.
Maybe you forgot. Well, maybe you didn't even know.
Yeah, maybe you haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Maybe you're completely unaware that, hey, when you start giving these movies to the masses, turns out there's some things in here that we didn't want the masses to see. And now they got the ability to push pause.
Slow-mo.
They can watch it frame by frame. And it turns out a couple of your frames have some titties. So 1985 is also when Disney said, hey, folks, would you like some titties?
Which one had titties?
The Rescuers.
Really?
What? Yes, so that's the biggest one. So you guys are remembering like the Little Mermaid, which we have in front of us here, which has
the infamous.
It has the infamous penis castle. Oh man, you forget that there's multiple dongs.
Yeah, I
There's a lot
think the
in there.
priest at the end had to.
And then the
In the
priest,
movie, yeah.
the priest himself. Yeah,
No, it's his kneecap.
it's his kneecap that's
Right. Yeah.
slowly getting bigger. As but that's not till 1990.
Okay.
Rescuers, which is a film from
80s, late 70s.
well, it turns out as they're zooming by some apartments, there's just a window, boobs.
These animators.
I didn't know that one.
And when you're in the theater, people just go, "Whoa!"
Did I see that?
Did I? Couldn't have been.
It's
Disney.
Been.
That's a Disney movie. No.
But when you're at home, hey, somebody rewind that.
Yeah.
Hit pause.
So the Disney Vault, it turns out maybe you should have kept a few things locked away. But it's genius. It's actually genius marketing, and it worked for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's finally now done because now I think most of their films are
They
released
killed
on-
it when the Disney Channel came out.
Well, no, I would
No,
not
Disney
no,
Plus,
no.
they're pulling shit off.
No,
of
they're,
that, too.
they're Disney. Well, but Disney Plus though, at
oh,
least though, the majority of things are in Disney Plus, right? They were still doing it up until Blu-ray. They were still locking things into the vault for the Blu-rays. So
Don't you wish you bought Pinocchio when you had the chance? Wouldn't you love to have Lady and the Tramp in your collection? Now they're gone. And time's running out for Cinderella, too.
can we stick with marketing? You guys okay with that?
I like advertising.
You like advertising? So another part of 1985, and maybe just in a small region, but which will become a huge ordeal, is the launch of the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Hell yes.
When you get hold of the Nintendo Entertainment System, when you master Rob, the video robot, and meet the challenge of Gyromite, when you shoot the light-sensing zapper, when you play the system with the most arcade hits, you're playing with power. The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
So we are a podcast in which we don't like to do the member berries things. We don't want to just go like, hey, what's your favorite Nintendo game? Hey, you guys remember playing Base Wars? Yeah, we love Base Wars. It's great. Don't get me wrong. We'll talk about Base Wars. But the Be Kind Rewinds are really about going back and looking at the stories and how we got to where we're at and how the companies come out with their new product and how what is the effect on the industry. I think that the Nintendo Entertainment System's story of how it got onto shelves and how it became a huge thing is super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So Jesse, you're the resident toy store owner, retro game store owner, guy that owns a Mario black box, 5-screw with the hanging tag still in the box in front of us. Super nerd. What is your take on the NES?
Oh, it was groundbreaking. Coming from Atari, which I have a small soft spot for. That was technically the first system I ever played.
Yep. That is the system of our parents.
Yep. And it was, my friend's older brother had one. So when I'd go over there, when he moved out, he left his Atari. So that was my first technical video game.
Yep.
But my one buddy, Justin, got this even a year before I did.
Okay.
In 86.
Okay.
We were in kindergarten together. And I went over to his house for sleepover. And he had this fresh out of the box. And it was mind-blowing.
It is interesting. Sounds like you're remembering.
Well, yeah. I'd inject a little bit of my history. You wanted the history of how I feel about Nintendo.
I do want your history of how you feel about it.
But the way they marketed this coming off, because, I think, Famicom was 83?
Yeah, Famicom was 1983.
Yep. And then they wanted to hit the American market with this. So instead of doing a test launch in a smaller, big city, like Milwaukee or something,
Yep.
they're like New York.
Yeah, they really wanted to test their ability and see if they could make this product go by putting it in the biggest market in the U.S. If you can figure this out, then you can figure any of it out. I think we have to retrace our steps a little bit. 1983 is the crash of video games. Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone talks about 1983. It's when the crash, E.T., right? Everything
Video
crashed.
games were done forever.
Video games are done forever. Jesse and I were talking about this. Atari had, I believe, its biggest year in 1983. They made a ton of money, but all of the shops that were having these products, by the end of that year,
They couldn't
sell
move them
anything.
yeah.
So they're stuck with all this product. 1984 is an entire year of everyone just liquidating video games.
Yeah.
It was viewed as the fad is over. Kids want to go back outside. The video game thing is done. Well, it turns out it's because the games could only hold your attention for so long. The real story of the Nintendo is the jump in quality of the game and your ability to play it for longer than 15 minutes and get bored of it.
Yeah.
You know, the kids, well, you sold an Atari yesterday,
Yeah.
right? Somebody came in and bought an Atari. They took 3 games, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fun with those, right?
Yeah.
But those games are only going to hold your attention for so long. Not to poo-poo on Atari. Everyone that's out there that loves the 2600, they're fun games, right? But they're little bite-sized games.
Yeah. They're mini games.
They're mini games, yeah. The NES comes out, and it is a completely different world in terms of the quality of the games. And even the games that started off are a tier down from where the system would be by the end, right?
Oh, yeah.
The black box games are all fairly basic stuff.
They are, but
I mean, just
still some of my favorites
It's pretty
are
interesting.
the original 17
Yeah.
black box games.
look at the difference between Mario 1 and even Mario 2, but Mario
Yep.
3 in particular. Like, it's
Or-
like a different system.
And that's just 4 years
Yeah.
after the first one?
Yeah. That's 2 years into this system
Okay.
getting around. So Japan has already, done the black box games, and then now Mario shows up. But for us, it shows up right at the
Launch.
right at the
away
launch.
was the pack in, of course. They didn't call them video games. That was another thing they were adamant about. They were, what was it, game packs they wanted to call
game packs.
Yeah, game packs and Lego blocks. Sounds fun.
I think it's crazy that Nintendo gets to where they are because Atari fails. And little known fact, Nintendo was working with Atari to release the Famicom in the US as the next Atari.
It's like a Sony Nintendo situation.
Nintendo said, we have this system. We call it whatever you want. Nintendo, we'll just make them. We'll make our money in Japan. You go ahead and take this system, rebrand it, whatever you want, and take over the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Not even just America. You go have the rest of the world. You just sell our product, call it whatever you want. It's going to be the next Atari. That deal falls through. Nintendo then says, we're going to go ahead and just make this ourselves. And the iterations, it's pretty interesting that from January, I think it was January 5th. January 5th, 1985 is the winter CES show, the Consumer Electronics Show. That's the first time that the NES gets shown to the US. It goes on sale that Christmas. Totally different product.
Oh.
Totally different product. When they launched it to start with, it was supposed to look, and let me see, I've got it in my notes here. The guy that designed it, Lance Barr, he took his inspiration from a Danish stereo company. So the first one was super thin. There was that gray and black. You've probably seen photos of it. It looked really futuristic. The controllers were wireless. Like it had a couple of modular things that you'd stack it up looking like a stereo thing.
Okay.
That's what they showed at the first electronics show. However,
That's pretty badass.
it was super badass. You should see what it looks
I know.
like.
I can't believe they went with that.
The-
We just want to make it look like a VCR.
The Zapper, which is still pretty cool, right? The Zapper actually had the ability to straighten out and become like almost like a
cool.
Star Trek like pointer, like a what do you call it? Phaser.
Phaser, yeah.
Phaser. It looks pretty badass, right? Nobody's interested.
Weird.
Video games are done.
Okay.
Nobody's interested. We just went through 1984. Nobody cares. Little did people know, the systems in front of them, they don't even work. They're just shells.
It's just some plastic.
They bought Sharp Famicom TVs. So it was a TV that had a Famicom built in, and then just built a frame around it so you couldn't see that.
Oh.
And so it's just a Famicom.
Yeah.
And you're just playing the Famicom, and then they just set this shell of a box in front of you. So look how cool this is.
Weird.
Look how freaking sweet this is. Didn't work.
So they had 10 months to actually bring a product to market.
That's CES January 5th. July, they come back, and it's the CES of the summertime. And now they've retooled. Okay, we hear you. Nobody wants this. We focus test. Kids don't want it. Parents don't want it. Electronics people don't want it. And they come back with what's sitting in front of us. Rob the robot.
He was the mascot.
He was the mascot. And not only was he the mascot, he was what they were using to say, this isn't video games.
Yeah.
This is a robot.
This is an interactive experience with a robot.
This is a robot.
Was this before or after Short Circuit?
Before, actually, I think.
1986 is Short Circuit.
Okay.
This is a precursor to Short Circuit. So robots, about to be hot. About to be hot. Rob the robot, kids want this. Kids want this robot. Turns out, kids still don't want this. Turns out parents still don't want this. Turns out the industry still says, we don't want this at all. Everyone is telling Nintendo this is going to fail. And then October of 1985, they tried the launch in New York. But nobody thinks this is going to work.
They threw $50 million into that launch.
$50 million. Guess how many units they sold?
6.
50,000.
50,000. Ouch.
They sold 50,000 units. Half of what they were trying to sell. They still considered it a success.
Okay.
But they dropped a ton of money into this, and it just kind of worked. But there was enough there to go, okay, let's see what happens and go larger.
Did it come with Super Mario Bros?
Did not come with Super Mario Bros. So the original package, which this is not, the one we have in front of us is from 87, I think. The original package, I believe, came with Rob
and Gyromite?
And Gyromite, and then it came with the gun and Duck Hunt.
Yep.
And that was the 2 games that you got with it.
Okay.
All the commercials and stuff are families playing with this. Dad with the zapper.
Oh,
Mom coming in. Dad shoots. Mom comes in, gives a little kiss on the cheek. You know, it's like, oh, this is
so bad.
Talk about James Bond. You just shot that. You just shot that duck, bro.
Hogan's Alley, Duck Hunt, and more.
It's recommended for ages 8 to adult.
8 to adult. Okay, so later on, when
Yes.
you get this, you have to show this family in the back of this
Yes.
box. It is the worst. Look at how stupid this is. Number 1. It's not on. Number 2, the game
game's
card.
not
The
in.
game's not
is
in.
not in the system. Number 3,
They're
both playing Mario at the same
At the
time.
same time. And Mom and Dad just got their hands on the shoulder.
And they are just way too excited to be watching their kids.
They are very excited about it. Super interesting, though. I thought it was crazy. The whole reason why Atari failed was they had no ability to stop anyone from putting games on their system. The smartest thing that Nintendo did was put in the lockout chip.
Oh, so
inside.
Atari was open source. Anybody could do it.
And that's what ruined it, was you had no ability as a company to say who could put a game out for this.
Regulate it.
So you get the Kool-Aid Man and all those. I'm sure it's a great game, whatever. But you could get any game, right? A guy that hardly even knows how to make a game can make a game and sell it. And that's why that system ultimately failed, is because you had no idea what you were buying.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, if you buy the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back game, which I've played, we actually had it as a
That's
kid.
actually a fun Atari.
It's a pretty fun game.
Yeah. By
Right?
ET, you know what you're getting.
You hope you know what you're getting. Pac-Man, we said it. Pac-Man is the real reason why that thing failed. It's because Pac-Man was absolute garbage.
You can't move that. Stupid.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. But guess whose idea it was to create some kind of lockout chip?
Steve Jobs.
Atari.
No.
Yeah, I suppose they had learned their lesson.
So Atari, when working with Nintendo to bring the Famicom over and make it the next Atari,
said, here's a huge problem we had.
We're just spitballing here, folks. We're around the table. We're just spitballing. Hey, is there any way we could make a lockout chip for this? Because, here's a problem that we're having. Nintendo goes, yeah, I think we can figure that out. Deal falls through. Turns out to be the number one thing that actually saves the industry. And it was Atari's idea because it's what killed their system.
But if you buy a game, you know it's going to at least be decent.
It's at least decent, but
it's
it's
going to be
also
a fully developed game.
But it's also the reason that Nintendo buried Atari. Because once it came out, Nintendo was strict about making sure that they had control over quality. And not only that,
The Nintendo seal of approval.
and it was really about, no, you're going to come through us. We're going to manufacture everything. We get to say who gets the chips. We get to say how many you get to make. You can only make 5 games per year as a separate company.
So that's why Konami. So that's why there's so many games made by Ultra.
That's why Konami made Ultra. That's why Atari made Tengen. And lo and behold, who decides to backwards engineer? But Atari themselves gets sued, loses, and the industry has used that as a standard ever since. When you are on Sony PlayStation, you have to go through the licensing of Sony, and that's the only reason why these systems continue to thrive.
I like it. It's a good consumer protection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having something that's broken and doesn't work. And that's what happened with Atari. You would buy something and it would literally be garbage. And then the guy that bought it as a store is like, I have bins of garbage.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this? It's like you're liquidating everything. Nintendo, when they went into New York, in order to get it into the stores, and Nintendo Japan was not happy about this, they did a buyback guarantee. Whatever doesn't sell, we'll buy it back from you.
Okay.
So they hedged their bets.
Which you would have to do after the failure of Atari.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's the only way you could
Yep.
get someone to go for it.
Yep. Set up a kiosk in the mall and then have all these kids being able to play these games. Oh, by the way, we've shifted our arcade setup to be a versus system, which is just a Famicom that you put quarters into. And then we get to say, look, it's the same as the arcade game. That arcade game is at home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because it's just the home thing you put a quarter in. So they would set those up in the mall and be like, that's the arcade right there. And look it over here. Same game.
Take it home.
At home. Then you go, yeah, go in the store over there. That store, they all have them. Have fun. It's unbelievable. It's such a cool story of looking at something from a perspective of we have a product, it's successful over here. Then at the same time, oh, hey, this company doesn't quite want to make the deal with us, so let's just do it ourselves. And then being told by everyone, we don't want this.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants this. Kids didn't want it. Parents didn't want it. Stores didn't want it. And they still released it. And the reason why it's successful is because the games are good.
Yeah.
There's even just the first 17. What were the 17 games?
You had the 10-yard fight, baseball, Klukuland, duck hunt, excite bike, golf, gyromite, Hogan's Alley, ice climber, kung fu, pinball, soccer, stack up, Super Mario, tennis, wild gunman, and wrecking crew.
Yes, not
Excite
Super Mario
Bike
Tennis.
was a launch title.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's a solid game.
Compared to golf.
Yes.
Or 10-yard
10
fight.
or tennis or, God forbid, baseball. Baseball is the precursor to all of the RBI baseball games you play, but the original NES baseball game it's tough sled. The coolest thing I think, though, was the other lesson that they learned from Atari was utilized in those black box games.
They went hard on Atari.
Yep.
Artwork was like, this is going to be the best video game
Yes.
ever with the artwork. And then the game is obviously just garbage.
With Atari, you buy it, and the artwork on it is a painting.
Yeah.
Man.
Just a
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Looks like a James Bond film.
Yep.
And then you turn it in and it goes beep, boop, 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 boop.
But they wanted complete honesty with this.
Yes.
That's why they call them the black 8-bit boxes.
Yep.
Completely honest. This is what it looks like. That's what the game looks like.
And it's badass.
Yeah.
I will say that the artwork on the black box games is badass.
Yeah.
It showed the pixels.
Mm-hmm.
It showed you got Excite Bike. You've got the seal of quality. And then the other tricky little thing that they
was
did
nice too.
was
This is
down
what
in,
you play it on.
down in the corner. programmable series. This is ExciteByte. This has the ability to do editing of tracks.
You can make your own tracks.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
But they would put like sports series or other versions on there to let you know that even though they probably only have
Super Mario Bros. Was the action series.
Okay.
So there's more games like this. This game's sweet. There's more games like this. I just got to look for the action series. And of course, Super Mario Brothers is what breaks the world open.
Yeah.
Once you have a game of that quality, you compare Super Mario Bros. To the best Atari game. I mean, the best Atari game. It's not even comparable.
No. I mean, look at all this stuff they
Yes.
put in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they spent some serious time. I mean, just with the different warp zones and different things you could do. And, when you look at every time you beat the game and you go back and play it, it's different. There's not Goombas, they're Beetles now.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you beat it, it totally changes.
Yeah.
I've
Forgot
never
about that.
I've done that like maybe up to 5-6 times.
You just beat the game over and over again 5-6 times?
Yeah.
I was 18 years old when I finally stayed up all night and beat Super Mario Bros. And I was the most excited I've been about a lot of things. There was nobody around, and I had to just do the thing where I was excited for myself. There were no cell phones. I was not texting people. I was not just telling them I got the pink tail in Final Fantasy IV. I was just excited for myself. I did not continue. I did not keep going. I may have went like, let's see what happens. And then that was it for me. You went like 5-6 times?
It was a bunch. And every time it was something different. I don't know how many times you can do that and how many times the things change. I'd have to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, like I say, it would just be little different things like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think, we'll talk about Nintendo as we go because there's games that come out that are interesting and we'll talk about those things. But I think that story of a product that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the opposite of New Coke. Everyone was saying you want this. Everybody wants it.
Give me a little sweetness.
Yeah, turns out terrible idea. Literally nobody wants this. You do the focus testing. The focus testers said, this data tells you should not release this product.
Yeah.
And you go, we're going to do it anyways because we know that it was a huge success in Japan. So you had a market that was already purchasing. I know we say like, we're doing a test market in New York. You tested it in an entire country and it was wildly successful. But then to just go against what everyone's thinking and to be able to do it. And then, hey, we sold 50,000 units and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Think about that. 50,000 units was like, yep, we're going, folks.
Deluxe set comes as shown with 2 game packs. Other games sold separately.
How long did the black box releases last?
It was that first run of 17 was maybe a year.
Okay.
I would say,
Because I think by 86 they had a whole fresh new batch of games.
I think once you started to have other companies releasing your games, because you got to remember too, the first games were only from Nintendo.
Okay.
Once you had other companies licensing and coming on, you no longer had that of, this art looks different than our art looks.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you start to see the change because Metroid is, because the next version was the silver box.
Okay.
Which are still the same. You still have Metroid, Kid Icarus. I can't think of any other ones that
Zelda?
Zelda was different because Zelda is completely different. Zelda was the gold box, shield. That's a completely different world. But before they hit that, you had the silver box, which was the same as the black box, only it was like round 2.
Okay.
So same pixelated art.
But initially it was a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's a really smart, really smart marketing decision.
Yeah.
And just so you know, they thought the robot was what was going to sell these things. And to be fair, anecdotally, you hear a lot of people go, the robot looked so cool. As soon as you touch that robot, you were done with the robot. You were done. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob the robot ain't getting it done.
No. It's cool because you just basically place your second controller in it.
Yes.
And then it just
pushes the
presses
buttons. It pushes the buttons. That's all it does. It literally just pushes the buttons for you.
Huh. Can it beat Mario?
No, it can move. Zzz, 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 and it's loud.
It is loud.
Yeah.
And it's got that spinner.
Yeah.
That
it sounds like plastic is going to break.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It sounds like it's ready to break the second that it gets turned on.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
My favorite quote of all of my research that I was doing on this came from the president of Nintendo, Hitoshi Yamauchi. He said, after hearing what Atari said, Nintendo came to the conclusion that in order to sell a home video game in the United States, a security system must be developed. So after we left our meeting with Atari, we realized, yeah, that's the seal of quality is what this is going to take. And the seal of quality is what allows them to be successful. And I will also argue the other thing that this introduced to the masses is the direction pad, the D-pad.
Sure.
It was available before that. I think it was available all the way back in 1982 with the Game & Watch and had been used in, of course, in the Famicom as well. But this is when the world was introduced to the directional pad, which has been around forever.
Yeah.
Still around, technically. Yeah. Okay, final thoughts on the NES.
I'm just waiting until we can talk about the Mega Man cover art.
Oh, God.
Oh,
that's got to be 86, 87.
All right.
Probably 87.
Do you still have that?
No, I think it's
can't
been
find
scrubbed
it
from the
I
internet.
cannot find it. I went back to find it, and I cannot.
Yeah, there's a video. It's a fake like email chain of some guy giving art direction to the person that's going to draw the Mega Man artwork for the games. And it's hilarious because those cover arts are fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers weird.
Just found a guy.
Yeah.
Guy drew it in
it's like,
crayon.
hey man, I was thinking that we could maybe, we'll put him in like blue and yellow. It kind of look like underwear. And like, it's hilariously written, but I can't find it anywhere anymore. I think it's been scrubbed.
Do you know how to shade correctly? No? Oh, sounds like you're the right guy for us.
Perfect. You're exactly who we want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fantastic. And I know we'll talk about Nintendo more, but I just think it's interesting. Again, the story of this stuff to me is what's cool, the history of it. How do you get to where you are? Because if you just go, hey, it's the 80s, the Nintendo was cool. We all had a Nintendo. Everybody's playing it. It's tons of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, how do you get from Crash, literally nobody wants it, to where we are with video games now? And it took this company going, I don't care what you think, we're doing it.
We're doing it. We're going to force it down your throat, and you're going to love it.
And you're going to love it. And then it turns out you did. So, all right, folks, that's 1985 in a nutshell. Pretty fun year. We've got the movies coming up next time around. We will be doing Spies Like Us, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and Rocky 4. So it is going to be a high-flying, action-packed Stallone fest. And then, of course, we'll come back with the following year, or the following episode where Jesse's number 2 film,
Yes.
Back to the Future.
They were always right there. Ghostbusters always edged for me, but Back to the Future is.
It definitely edged for you. It definitely edged for you. All right. Thank you to Gabriel Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Scott.
Yes.
And thank you to Jesse as well. We'll be back next week. And until then, we're done.
So you know what it was? I looked. It changes one time when you beat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I used to do was go back and play it through with the levels that I skipped in the warp. So that's why I'd play it over and over because it became increasingly harder.
Yes.
The first time.
It was called hard mode, and it's the only change later. But you can beat it in hard mode, and you're still just in hard mode.
Yes. And it's also just the same game,
but harder.
Well, the bag's not for what I take, Colson. It's for what I find along the way.